Picture this: Zac Lomax, the gunwinger who's terrorized NRL defenses for years, just torched a multi-million-dollar deal to chase glory in a whole new arena. Not the footy field, but a blood-soaked octagon where one wrong move ends it all. What drove this origin star to ditch the league he loves for gloves and grit? Stick around, because the truth will floor you. If that bombshell has you hooked, smash the like button right now and subscribe to Aussie NRL Update for the rawest NRL scoops delivered straight to your feed. Your front row seat to the chaos starts here. Don't miss a tackle. Let's rewind to where it all ignited. Zac burst onto the scene with St. George Illawarra, a freakish talent slinging bombs and sprinting past defenders like they were statues. But whispers of discontent bubbled under the surface. Position battles, contract squabbles. Zac felt caged, his fire dimming in the Dragons' dysfunction. Then came the seismic shift, a blockbuster move to Parramatta, $2.6 million over 4 years, promises of finals glory. Fans erupted, envisioning him as the Eels' savior. Yet, just one season in, cracks spiderwebbed. What hidden storm was brewing that no one saw coming? As the Eels licked wounds from another finals heartbreak, Zac's camp dropped the hammer. Immediate release granted. The league gasped. Why walk away from security when you're at your peak? Rumors swirled like a scrum gone wild. French rugby luring him with champagne and chateaus? Or that shadowy R360 rebel league, dangling tax-free fortunes and a fresh start? His manager bailed on those talks faster than a broken play, leaving pundits scrambling. But hold on, Zac wasn't fleeing to ovals or pitches. The real twist? He laced up not for boots, but for wraps. Training pads echoed in a Wollongong gym, far from the roar of Combank Stadium. Deep in the heart of UFC king Alexander Volkanovski's lair, Zac transformed. Daily grinds with featherweight beasts like Jimmy Crute and Jamie Malarkey, sparring sessions that left jaws dropped. His coach couldn't hide the hype. This kid's got eyes like a hawk, timing sharper than a state of origin decider. Years of secret sessions, dreams of the cage bubbling since his junior days. Remember that March confession, raw and real? Zac admitted the pull of the fight game nearly yanked him from the NRL entirely. Family huddles, soul-searching nights. Could this be the fork where footy fades and fists rise? But wait, the gym whispers a debut on the horizon. Boxing first, to blood the beast. One pro bout, and the world shifts forever. Or does it? You're tuned into Aussie NRL Update, the pulse of the game where legends are made and myths shattered. If Zac's saga has your blood pumping, drop a comment. Would you pay to see him trade tries for takedowns? Your voice fuels the fire. Keep it roaring. Now, the revelation hits like a knockout uppercut. No more oval chases. Zac's code switches to combat chaos. Volkanovski's crew sees gold talent that translates, a body built for brutality. Picture it, the winger who smoked defenders now smoking opponents in the ring. Early bouts against fellow ex-players? Easy prey, says the camp. But MMA lurks, the ultimate test. A light spar with Crute looms this weekend. Win there, and doors fly open. Lose? Back to the drawing board, tail between legs. The NRL watches, bans looming if he crosses lines. Will loyalty lure him home, or does the siren song of the squared circle drown it out? One thing's crystal: Zac's rewriting his legacy, punch by punishing punch. As the dust settles on this seismic split, questions hang heavier than a grand final kick. Our 360's delay scatters the board. Poppin' wizen eyes a return, but Zac? He's all in on the unknown. Fans divided, traitor or trailblazer? The Eels rebuild with cap space burning holes, scouting replacements in a frenzy. Yet, in quiet moments, you sense the poetry, a warrior's heart seeking sharper edges. This isn't goodbye to the game, it's evolution. Will we see him back, humbled and hungrier? Or headlining under lights, gloves gleaming? The answer's coming faster than a Lomax step. Aussie NRL Update signing off. Thanks for riding this roller coaster with us. If Zac's shock pivot fired you up, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Next drop, the fallout files you can't unsee. Stay savage, stay subscribed. What's your bold prediction? Comment below, we read every one. Catch you on the flip. The UFC world is already buzzing louder than a sold-out Magic round. Dana White hasn't said the name yet, but insiders swear contracts are being sharpened in Las Vegas. Word is Zac's management flew to LA last week, sat down with Hunter Campbell, and walked out with a multi-fight deal that makes his old Parramatta money look like Junior Reggie's pay. One catch: he has to flatten a legitimate boxer in his debut. No cherry-pick YouTuber, no washed-up footy mate. They want a statement. February 15th, Sydney, under the Triller banner or UFC Fight Pass. The date is locked. Opponent? Still under wraps, but the shortlist has jaws on the floor: a former IBF champ who's fought Canelo, or a 15-0 killer from Dagestan who's never seen an oval ball in his life. Lose and the UFC dream dies on night one. Win clean and the octagon door swings wide open by Winter. The countdown just hit red. Back in the Shire, the NRL old guard are spitting chips. Club CEOs held an emergency call. If Lomax fights and wins, every young gun with a decent fend will want gloves for Christmas. Salary cap loopholes, image rights, concussion protocols, the whole rule book is getting stress tested. Parramatta quietly breathed a sigh of relief. They've already signed a Tongan wrecking ball to replace him, but St. George fans are filthy. They groomed him, bled with him through 9 wooden spoons, and now he's ghosting the code for highlight reel knockouts. Social media is a war zone. Half the comments call him a sellout, the other half are already designing Lomax MMA shirts. One former Dragon went nuclear on a podcast last night, claiming Zac owes the game a farewell match, a one-off boxing charity fight against Paul Gallen just to say thanks. Fat chance. Lomax hasn't looked back since he hung up the headgear at training last Tuesday and told the boys, "See you on pay-per-view." And here's the twist that'll melt your brain: this whole switch might have been orchestrated 2 years ago. Go back to the 2023 Origin camp. Volkanovski was a guest coach for agility drills. Footage exists, only 20 seconds long, of Volk pulling Zac aside after a session, whispering something while tapping his own chin. Zac laughed, nodded, and that was it. Apparently that whisper was simple: when you're done carrying deadweight clubs, call me. The seed was planted under the brightest lights in the game, right under De Hassler's nose. Now the tree is fully grown, roots ripping up the NRL turf. Contracts torn, reputations on the line, and one blazing question left unanswered. When Zac Lomax drops his first professional bomber in front of 30,000 screaming Aussies, will the roar be louder than any try he ever scored? Stay locked to Aussie NRL Update, because the second that fight is official, we're breaking it wide open. Bell icon on, mates. This is only round